巴菲特在他最近一次股东大会上被一个13岁的男孩问到，他小时候做了什么让他成为了世界上最伟大的投资人之一。他的回答是这样的
Hi, my name is Patrick Nestor. I am 13 years old and from Tampa, Florida. I'm here with my brother John, who's 15, and my dad. Thank you for hosting this meeting. This is my first ever shareholder meeting. My question is what high school class or activity helped influence you to who you are today as the greatest investor of all time?
Well, that's a good question. The teachers you get in your life have this incredible impression on you, and a lot of it are the formal teachers you have, but some are informal teachers too. I mean, I learned from certain employers, so much. You really hope you're learning from everybody you find who's well-intentioned and has had a lot of experience, and I had a lot of good luck in that. But I would say that where I was really lucky was my dad was in the investment business. So I would go down on Saturday and I'd wait for him to go to lunch with, and I'd read the books that were around there that nobody else ever read. And they talked to me, numbers talked to me. I could never get my fill of them, and then I discovered the public library, and I read every book there was on investments, literally, in the Omaha Public Library at 19th and Harney. And, I enjoyed learning about that. Unlike Charlie, if Charlie was reading about electricity, he would want to have known everything that Thomas Edison knew and more, and go through the same thought processes and understand how everything worked. I didn't care how it worked. I just cared whether it worked. And that's a limitation. I'm confessing here. I'm not bragging. As Charlie would say, I mean, people would always say if you could only have lunch with one person living or dead, who would it be? And Charlie said, I've already had lunch with all of them because I've read all their books, basically. And he really did it. I think having curiosity and actually finding sympathetic teachers is very useful. I ran into a couple of teachers that both in high school and college. In fact, I would say that I went to three different universities, and I went to high school in Washington, and at each place, I found about two or three really outstanding people, and I just spent my time with them and didn't pay much attention to the other classes. And I was lucky to find something that really fit me very early on. If my ambition had been to become a ventriloquist or whatever the hell it might have been, then it wouldn't have worked. I'd have spent hours and hours and hours, and I wouldn't have been any good when I got through. So I don't believe that. I think there was that book that talked about spending 10,000 hours or something. I could spend 10,000 hours at tap dancing, and you'd throw up if you watched me, But if I spent 10 hours reading Ben Graham, I would be damn smart when I got through. So minds are really, really different. I watch great bridge players, and I watch great physicians. People really, really, really have different talents, and I don't know. I think you're supposed to have 88 billion cells in your brain. I'm not sure that all of mine are flashing bright lights, but you are different than anybody else. That's what my dad always used to tell me, that essentially that, you're something different. It may not be good at the moment, but you find your own path, find the people in schooling that want to talk to you. People that teach, in general, they love having a young student who's actually really interested in the subject, and they'll spend extra time with you. They'll do all kinds of things I ran into that. I had Graham and Dodd at Columbia. Well, Dave Dodd treated me like a son, basically, and but I was interested in, excuse me, I was interested in what they were saying, and they found it kind of entertaining, and then I was no interested in, so I would just, I would look around or do you know, what really fascinates you. I wouldn't try and be somebody else. And then I would, you'll find the teachers at a school, and you'll find some outstanding people that are teachers. I've had at least 10 people that have had huge impacts on my life, and every one of them was positive, you know, because I got to select in a sense, and a number of people really like helping younger people. You know, I found that in school, and it probably helps to look a little bit lost and all that. Like you need help, but I would say my school experiences were good, but were really very good. But I attribute it much more to the individual than to the institutions. Okay. I've already told you more than I know, so we'll go on to...
一个孩子真正的成长，不是赢在起跑线，而是拥有一颗有方向、有判断、有热爱的心。我们可以替孩子做很多决定，但无法替他过完人生。给孩子一个未来，不如给孩子一个自己，让他们在书中遇见高人，在热爱中找到方向，在良师益友中学会选择人生。把这条发给你身边的家长们吧，愿我们这一代的父母不只为孩子铺路，更帮助他们成为有能力走出幸福人生的人。